Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Sadashivasamarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmad Acharya Paryanda Vande Guru Parambara. Shruti, Smriti, Purananam. Shruti refers to Vedas and Smriti, Gita and Puranas. Shruti, Smriti and Gita are called the three important Prasthanatraya repository. So Shankaracharya, he himself is the repository of all this. He is Alayam, the abode of all this. And Karunalayam is the compassionate one who opened our heart, opened our knowledge path, the gateway to bliss. So let's offer our salutations to him. If I am sitting in front of you, it is just because of the grace of him somehow fell on me. So I am first of all thankful to the Almighty. I always say, you may call universe any name, it's okay for me. That Almighty, visible, invisible, all. The grace somehow got connected. See, I'll just start with one mantra from a stotra called Shamapana Stotra. That is seeking pardon, Shama, you know. In that, the first sloka is, so this actually attracted me so much. Namandram no yandram tadapi chanajane studimaho nachakvanam dhyanam tadapi chanajane studikatha najane mudraste tadapi chanajane vilapanam param jane madastavadanusharanam kleshaharanam. There are 12 stanzas, this first only, just remember. This we used to chant after all the pujas, even in yajna, some may be doing it. So what does this mean? After doing puja to Devi Upasana, oh mother, I don't know mantras, I don't know yandras, nor can I sing even your praise. I don't know how to welcome you, nor how to meditate on your presence. Neither do I know how to sing your glories or how to show your mystical signs, that is mudras, nor even how to lament, even to ask. But I keep on calling you mother. You who take away all my difficulties. See, this is the surrender. Who is telling this? Adi Shankaracharya. So if he is telling like this to the Mother Divine, I thought, who am I after all, this fellow, this Parameshwaran, this physical body, this fellow? Do I have any right to say, I know? Just a trick. So with this, I will start. So why I am telling this? As I will try to take you along about his background and his greatness, I may probably link a little bit of my own life his greatness, see, his humbleness. But you know, once you study about his teachings, then you know how great he is, who transformed. The only similarity I can say is he was born in a very, very poor family in Kerala. I am also in utter poverty. So that is the only similarity I have. But what attracted me is being that how he became so great. So the other day, someone was talking about, how rich and people are doing the so-called seva, what Vivekananda, serve man, serve God, seva, tyaga, in the name of tyaga. But see what he did, incomparable. So how he became, even today we are talking after 1,000 years about Shankaracharya. So you don't have to tell anything else to understand his greatness, of course. So in my day, school days, we have what is called as non-detailed, maybe like social or something, non-detailed stories. All will be stories, moral stories will be there. So there comes this sort of stories. So normally, most of the stories, after that I found, when I start reading a book those days, I'm not talking about the modern writers, the starting will be, there lived a poor Brahmin. This is how they start. So it is the replica as far as I'm concerned also. Utter poverty I had. And that is how he was born. But that's why we say, nobody is as born as a leader. Today's parlance, I'm telling. You can become leader. So all starts from how? Before going to his biography, let us understand the concepts, why we are sitting here. See, all the masters who are here and others, great people, everybody, whether Western or Eastern, talks about a thought can change you. Vivekananda also said, you can change your destiny. You create your destiny. Starting point is thought, feeling, action. Just that thought. So when I was thinking of that, see here, other day I was telling everyone, it's all individuals. Society we can create. We have to create our society what I want. So that means you create your world. We always blame because of society, I have to all we act. Drama in the drama, sub-drama, like that. So if you see here, who are the revolutionaries? All single person has changed the world, at least at that time. And its evolution keep on changing. Our Eastern culture is so great. It is not few hundreds or even thousand, millions of years old. Vedas, Vedic knowledge. That is why we are still surviving. You are still enjoying the life and sitting like this. So every revolution, say Karl Marx, communism, Stalin then came, Lenin, Stalin and all that. Everybody, they change. It's all one person's thought, good and bad. Gandhiji, ahimsa, right? Same way Hitler, unfortunately the other way, himsa. Sadistic pleasure. There are so many today you are seeing the news and what is happening, all are talking. And we say, let us pray for Ukraine, our Indian students, let us pray, let us help, and so many, all spring up suddenly. But we don't know the truth, what is happening. Everything started. We cannot say Russia is bad, Ukraine is good. Who am I to say? When Adi Shankaracharya, I don't know, like that. When you unbiased, we should be. But as a human being, think of only human being, everybody, compassion, yes, but without siding. So same way today's politics also. That is why other day I was telling, whoever is doing good for serve man, serve God, he is the great. Forget the party background. See, in Canada now what is happening? I was told there is emergency. Same thing happened in India in my earlier days when I was in 30s. I have suffered. That's why I'm telling it is not anti-Congress or pro-BJP like that. I'm talking Indira Gandhi imposed. See, all starts her mind because the ego plays. That's why I'm driving at that. Instead of Shankara, why I'm talking this is part. The purpose of understanding everything is to live a beautiful, peaceful, calmful, joyful, loveful life, right? So what we have gone through are lessons like that. Good and bad, both happens, but everything is a lesson. That's why today, now what is happening now, when I talk about Shankaracharya, yesterday I was just saying a spiritual channel, all the news were showing one side war and other side about Banaras visit of our Indian Prime Minister. Say Kashi, that Kashi is the abode of everything. It is not man-made temple. It's a temple of learning, surrendering how. And like these revolutions are by a single individuals. No, in India, forget Nazism and all that. In India, Green Revolution, I don't know how many of you heard of that. Who started? Green Revolution was about modernizing agriculture. One Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, his story was, I heard this decades back from my master, Nagendra ji, or I think probably. He is a scientist today, he is Guru of Modi ji. Yes, he only told this story. M.S. Swaminathan, he was born in somewhere 1925. I don't know whether he's still alive, maybe. He was a doctor, and like our friends say, some doctors are here now in spiritual path. So he was feeling depressed, a doctor. Then he met a psychiatrist. Then he told him, okay, sir, doctor, sir, you just go home, take leave from your profession for some time, say 2-3 weeks. Go sit at home and do whatever is possible at home. You may have garden. He said, yes, okay. Be in the garden, spending some time and watering the plant, looking after the flowers, like that, nature, walking, like that. He started like that. That is so he stopped his profession as a doctor, as a scientist. Then he gave all his to only that. That is how the agriculture. He invented, rather at that time, it was happening around the world, some other places also. He started studying and he wanted, yes. And that agricultural revolution, otherwise we call as Green Revolution, happened because of his thought, feeling, action. Great person he became. He became a real human being. Same way, White Revolution. I don't know how many of you have heard. Milk. When you say milk, probably you may think of Denmark. But today also, you know, Amul's advertisements, how nice, buttery advertisement, like our doctor, Lakshmi, so sweet words come. All ads are really attracting. Who was the person behind it? Dr. Kurian. See, at that time, so many, India, such a vast country, small people having cows and buffaloes and all that. And they were not able to sell, and there was no coordination, middlemen making money, so many things. Then came Amul, White Revolution, formed cooperative society. See, Satsanga, what you talk about. More and more people joining together, society was formed. That is how it started. So White Revolution happened. That was, again, he of course passed away very recently, Dr. Kurian. Same way, Industrial Revolution. Again, today people will think today is rich people. But who is rich inside in the heart, or what people masters calling here as coherence between your brain and heart? That was, how many can say today, who was the father of Industrial Revolution in India? The visionary Jamshedji Tata. So like that, so many. And political revolution, as I said earlier, so many things. But different society, what we have to adopt, change, like that accordingly. So spiritual revolution, when you think of, I can think of only Adi Shankara. That's why I went back to this. But everything is individual. So an individual, he became so great like that. So many become great because of their thought, their feelings, compassion, like Buddhas, you know, compassionate people, they can create like that. You and I can do a little bit. So if I am sitting in front of you and somebody, Ashok, told me, some people asked, talk about Adi Shankar, I was, of course, whatever he says, I say yes first. Then I was thinking yesterday, therefore yesterday I think you spoke properly. What will I say? Because I don't know how to start, how to end. All that is, I just enjoy. But broadly, I can divide his teachings into two. One is about Bhakti Yoga, other is Jnana Yoga. So people will think Jnana Yoga means now today all are thinking nothing, no, you are God, Aham Brahmasmi. It is a sentence, a word you can say, but Aham Brahmasmi cannot be learned, it has to be attained. Realization, we have to realize Brahman. It is not by chanting. So that has to be understood. So for Jnana yogis who are highly intellectuals, we have a lot of friends who has that wisdom, like Arjuna. Yes, for them, the remedy from Adi Shankara is Viveka Chudamani. Read that. That is another Bhagavad Gita itself. That is like I've been talking about Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. So Viveka Chudamani also sutras are there. Pearls of wisdom. Viveka Chudamani, the crushed jewel of discrimination. Crushed jewel of discrimination, Jnana Yoga. Then for Bhakti Yoga, endless he has given us. So many stotras he has created. All will talk again as it comes. Brahma Jnanavali, the other day, we talked and it was sung by Brahmananda Ji also, and we meditated thinking that. The garland of slokas there. Then another one for the Bhakti yogis who are really emotion. For me, that is how. See, I was looking for love, like all of us. So the pure love. So that is Bhakti Yoga. Emotion, culturing the hard emotion should become soft emotion. For that, the path of Bhakti Yoga is wonderful. In that, the topmost, of course, the most popular is today, Mohamudgara. I was telling the other day, that is Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte, Sannihite, Kale, Nahi Nahi Rachadi, Dukram Karane. That's the first stanza. Then goes on another 12. Again, one day, probably we'll talk a little more about that, you will understand. So this is most popular, but I knew earlier itself, Yama Subbalakshmi, the doyen of Carnatic music, she was singing, so I was enjoying. I used to put like the people putting the phone, so I used to put the radio. It used to come in our DVDs. Or later on came cassettes. So I never knew the meaning and all that, but it was pleasing. It was giving something, that vibration, the language of the universe is vibration. So it creates, so simplest way for everyone, drop all your knowledge and just sit and listen, you see what happens. That is really Bhakti, a very easy path. So next one, this is simplest. Next one, those who want. Some of you may be knowing, you would have heard, Saundarya Lahari, the waves of beauty, another wonderful creation of Adi Shankara. Sri Vidya Rahasya, he taught how to. So before that, I didn't tell you about his birth. Yes, in Kerala, in a poor family. His mother's name was in Kaladi in Kerala. Aryamba was his mother, and Shivaguru was his father. And in 788 AD, this is the most authentic information, that is 3,200 years back. He was born in 788 and left the body in 820 AD. That means 32 years he lived on this planet. That's all. Now, 1,200 years over and we are talking about him. So how great is he? And when he was 4 years or so, it seems his father left the body also. So he was living with his mother. Then, before his birth itself, his parents, they were not having a child for a long time. So they were praying to Lord Shiva, please give us a child. Why earlier days, Putra, we need a child, that too, why male? Not like today's that gender difference. Because for doing karmas, Pitri karmas, for doing rituals, a boy is needed. So son can only do the rituals as per our Vedic structure. for the parent. That is why, that's all, nothing else. For learning. Afterwards, many revolutions happened in spirituality also, but no bar in learning. Everybody, there is no, whereas so many pandits today are misguiding. So it was going on like that. Female should not chant Gayatri, should not chant Om, all. So for me also, utter confusion for 10 years for me when I quit the job. In 1996, in frustration, quit the job. Then somehow I just like you sitting here, started yoga, I landed. Then little by little started getting. So you start attracting what you need. Naturally, universe will show you path. So at 4, he lost his father also. At 5, then mother put this as a Brahmin. We call as Dvija. Once you put Upanayana, we say the cross belt in English, should not use such words actually. So for Brahmajnana, that is important. So 3 point will be there and mantras are chanted. Brahma, it is called for Brahmajnana. Then Gayatri is initiated by a guru and all that. And you have to do Gayatri Upasana, that is offering to salutations to sun also. That is why for all the 3 Sandhya Kala, early morning, afternoon, and in the evening, that sunset, sunrise, that time. He was given, then he was sent for Veda Padashala studying. Of course, now comparing to him, for me, why I have interest in this? When I was maybe that 4 or 5 years, I was sent, my father was very poor man. So I was sent to a small, there was a teacher, a guru, we call him a warrior, not that English warrior. It's like a subcaste, like that guru, like a Kshatriya. So he was teaching few families of the prince families there where I was living. So I was also sent there for learning. So there he was teaching Amarakosha, Siddharupa, Raghuvamsha and all that 4 or 5 year old children. No, 3 to 5. Your LKG and all that we never knew. So for nearly 2 years I was with him. Then he put me straight away in school, 4th standard. I did not study up to 3rd. Not like today, you start from 2 years to 6 years, so many classes. So that gave me the seed of Sanskrit little bit. That's all. I'm not a Pandit, I have not learned, I have not gone to any Padashala or anything, only just like this Satsanga and listening to so many gurus and reading little bit. That's all. So don't have more expectation from me. With the humbleness, all humbleness, you have given me the privilege of talking about him. That itself is greatness. So then what happened? He was such a wonderful soul. At 8, he told his mother, I want to become a sannyasi. Leave me. I don't want this worldly life. He was born already, using your other language, today modern coaches, he was a highly evolved soul. So he said, this is not my life. So mother, no mother will agree to become a sannyasi. But what he did, he planned. There was a river where he lived in Trichur, Kaladi, Purna River. Today it is called as Periyar or something. The original name is Purna. See, went for bath. We all go to, even I was going to river and taking bath in my childhood days, another river, Chaliyar. Okay. So in Purna River, he was taking bath. Then a crocodile came and sank its teeth in his ankle. Then he started crying. So mother staying just on the shore only. All civilization, people live close to the river, so that for drinking water, for bathing, everything we go to river. No tap opening and all that. Then mother came also. Then she was in distress, what to do? Then he says, oh mother, you can do only one thing. The crocodile says, if you leave me for sannyasa, the crocodile will not eat me, it will live, like that. So she was in deep sea, between devil and deep sea. What to say? Already there is devil. What to do? She has to go down, agree. Oh Lord. Okay. So this is the story how he came out. Then he decided, he put his kashaya vesha, saffron clothes and kamandalu and the staff, danda. He told mother before leaving, oh mother, You are alone, I know, but be here. Don't worry. Whenever you need, you need me, you send message, I'll be with you. I'll be close to you. Also, though I am becoming a sannyasi, the sannyasis are not allowed to do you are not supposed to do the last rites of the parents because you have left the family. But here he says, I will come for the last rite at the time of you are leaving the body. And he did it. So for that also people later on, they started even telling what is this and all that. But that is why I say he's a revolutionary. Like this, there are so many things I can call him a revolutionary today. So this is how inspiration should come to us. Little things. Now coming back to our own group here, now Ashok is doing a revolution and the team behind. This is it. One can start. Once you start, when you are on the right path, automatically everything cooperates. Your rain will stop, your breeze will stop, your sun will stop. All the 5 elements will stop if you need. It is not that for my marriage, I am conducting in a big resort. Today it should not rain for me. How can you? On the other side, people are praying, I want rain for my crops. How can it happen? That is selfish prayers. From that, we should come out. And when we want whatever for the good of the humanity, then it will happen. Like Vrindavan Krishna, the Govardhan Giri. So this is why instead of Shankaracharya, I'm going to say, everywhere there is a meaning. So we have to go by the spirit of what is happening, not the literal meaning of what people are talking. Pandits, unfortunately, majority, I'm not complaining, but it is so. That is how I have seen many. They think of only the literary part and become Pandit. They stand word by word, translating and explaining, etc. But that will not take us anywhere in real sense. Knowledge is required, yes. But as he said, namandram, no yandram, I don't know anything. When I decide that, understand that really I am nothing, then you become everything. That is the beauty. So Shankara starts his journey. As I started, I said at 5, I was in 4th standard, and at that time, no birth certificate, no Aadhaar card is needed. They just put some date of birth. So my certificate shows 2 years older than what I am today. That's all, nothing. Then at 14, I completed my 10th standard and left. And from that day, I started my own journey, livelihoods, basic survival. That is how I started my journey just after completion of 10th standard. Whereas what he did those days, 788,000, when he was 8, he went out. Then he wanted a guru. He was looking for guru. He started moving around. Aryavarta, it was told at that time. See, today's India. Bharat Desha means it was vast area. From Himalaya ranges to Vindhya ranges here. That was called Aryans were living. So it was called as Aryavarta, practically North India. Of course, yes, I traveled to South India also. Then he reached the Narmada River. Then he found a great sage there near the Narmada River. His name is Govindapada, and Govindapada's guru was Gaudapada. So all these are documented by people subsequently. It's all heard, Guru Paramparam, by word of mouth only, Veda Upanishads came. Smriti, see, Shruti, Smriti, Shruti, no, we just accept by listening, and Smriti by remembering. So by word of mouth only, all, even Mahabharata. Vyasa wrote Mahabharata. Vyasa wrote then for the ordinary people Puranas. 18 Puranas are there, like that Shiva Purana. And Shankaracharya wrote commentaries on all these things. That's why he is known as Bhashyakara. Commentaries. All these Bhashyas explain wonderfully. So he is everything. So he found a guru. He started staying with him. His guru Govindapada accepted him immediately by saying, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, so Vivekananda, he found, yes, come my child. He started teaching him all Veda Upanishads and all that. Then, one incident there. This Govindapada, always he was sitting in Samadhi only, most of the time. Not like today to become popularity, bringing so many people. No, whoever comes, he will teach and he will be enjoying. He will be in blissful state always like that. Then one day, heavy rains came, lashed. So floods started coming, Narmada river and everywhere water. He was in Samadhi state. So his disciples, student Adi Shankara saw this. Oh, what to do? He has already attained yogic powers by that time. Siddhis, as Patanjali says, Ashta Siddhis, you can do anything. Then, when Guru was in the cave, in Samadhi state, he found what to do. He took his Kamandalu and prayed to the Mother Divine and used the power. And he contained the entire water, immersed the water in the Kamandalu cave. So you may think how it is possible. Everything is possible. We are able to see only through our senses. When you go beyond, you talk about today's whole dimensions, 5th dimension, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 14 dimensions we are talking about. Why not cities? Everything is possible. So he contained the water and saved. Then later on, after that, Guru came to know of this from other disciples or whatever. Then he found, oh, this is time. Now, I should not hold him with me. He is meant for the world, for the revolution of the world. So he tells him, go to Varanasi, that is Kashi today, Banaras, what you talk about. You go there, my dear child. There the Shiva's abode. And you give the knowledge to the world. You start writing commentaries, Vashyas on Gita, Veda, Upanishads, and all that. So he sends him away. This is how good gurus. See, today is what happens. Many students, all good students, they keep, all bad students, disciples, they say, you go. Because they want all good people for popularity and, and they can keep quiet, they can teach the disciple. See, it was not like that, the real earlier gurus. They said, go. And that is how he started his journey. And he started commentaries, Bhashyas and all that. So his contribution in spirituality is immense, as I said in the beginning. For the Jnana Yogis, the intellectual people, my advice is read Viveka Chudamani. You can buy the book anywhere, but on online, PDF will be there, better you buy. But by the ashrams, like Chinmaya Mission and all that, I always say, buy books from them. So the commentaries written by Swamijis will be very, very wonderful. See, I got a book translated by Swami Turiyananda, Viveka Chudamani. That is Advaita Ashram's publication, just 30 rupees I paid. That's all. So, yeah. I don't know whether it's okay. You can buy Viveka Chudamani for the intellectual people. For others who are more emotional type, Soundaralahari, not simply chanting. Soundaralahari again, it is all about Mother Divine. Sri Vidya Rahasya, I said, people say I'm Sri Vidya Upasaka. So, I am also lucky to learn from a master. So why all this? When he was born at that time, say Buddha was born 1500 years before him. But by the time he was born, already our culture, our spirituality, everything was in a very bad shape, I can say. The Buddhism degenerated actually. Buddhism, as I always say, all these masters, great souls. That's why one master told me, follow Christ, don't follow Christianity. Follow Krishna, don't follow Hinduism. See, there is a notion of difference because those who followers get distorted, then they make themselves as the leader. That's why in Hinduism, and it is a way of life. It is yoga way of life. That is what we are supposed to. Everyone, there is no caste, creed, religion, sex, nothing. No jati bheda, nothing. So, This Saundarya Lahari is waves of beauty. He describes mother in 100 and odd slokas, sutras. So first half is all about yantra sharira. We say the body is a yantra. So he is seeing her in yantra sharira. Say trikona, all these mandalas, all the geometrical forms. Every mantra has a yantra. Every yantra has a mantra. Form has a sound. Sound has a form. Like that. So he is describing all that in that. So that is how it started attracting me also. Saundarya one master was explaining. She immersed, once she starts talking about, just goes from there to Lalita Sahasranama, Devi, Shiva, like that, goes, never ending. Because you just bath in that bliss. So listeners, your Shravana Samskara happens. Listening, from hearing becomes listening. Then we start, Shravana becomes Manana. We start contemplating. Then become. So this is the little things I learned. That's all. I'm not a Pandit, my dear friends. Don't expect more from me. I'll be disappointing otherwise. So let me tell you the truth. Okay. And few Sanskrit word people talk doesn't mean that they are all Sanskrit scholars. I'm also in that category only. But Saundarya Lahari, if you have little passion, say whatever he has done, there is something beyond an ordinary. That's why we say, everybody is an ordinary person. I am also an ordinary person, but I just try to put a little extra in that. That's all. So you can become extraordinary if you put a little more the reality in that, your heart. That is what I will call as the brain and heart coherence. Step down from head to heart. This is all he's teaching, but he says you both use that, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Combination. Then you see your karma yoga becomes karma yoga, work becomes worship. So Saundarya Lahari is wonderful, but not in all languages books are available, but not simply chanting. Today majority are chanting and they say I can chant and by heart I know, but by heart when you are chanting you are looking around, somebody will be coming, will be showing signal. That is not. It is okay, you have learned, your tongue is good, Saraswati Kadaksha is there, but Parvati will not be there. Lakshmi will not be there. Lakshmi will not stay with us unless we have Saraswati within us, that real knowledge. And Parvati is the real mother, the power with us. You should have that vibration. That is why even our spiritual tablets, we have a concept, Lakshmi, Parvati, Saraswati. You should understand that. So whatever you are talking, you may think, what is this you are talking about Anapanasati, and we are talking something else. It's not something else. All about life, how to live joyfully, blissfully. What more you want? It is not living in your, what do you call, pani puri, masal puri and such. That's all trickle. Okay, little precious, don't leave. It's okay, fine. But that is not everything. So understanding that. So Saundarya Lahari, you should buy such books where clear explanation is given in your own language. Then you will understand. My master, she translated it. It is not actually translated in Kannada language. She wrote the entire Saundarya Lahari in Kannada. So those who know Kannada, if they read, they know the wonderful thing. So with that, when you do puja, you get that wow, vismaya. Wow, life should become a vismaya, wonder, not cheetu like that, not accusing finger, showing this. So when you raise your finger, it should be to arise, awake. That's it. Dostom, you should say this, wake up, come out of your slumber. That is how we should have company, satsanga. We should create our own society. But Jnana Yoga, he says in Viveka Chudamani, one stanza I will tell now. Durlabham Traya Mevai Tat Deva Anugraha Hedukam Manishyatvam Mumukshatvam Mahapurusha Samsrayaha. Only through God's grace Maybe you obtain those 3 rarest advantages. See, for Jnana Yoga, people think I am at Jnana Yoga, I don't want, I am Brahmasmi, why should I go for bhajan singing? All, see, he himself says here, if you want the 3 rarest advantages, the grace should flow. This is what I was telling in some class also. Why to do all the circus? Just surrender to the power that be. Say universe, I say my mother, Devi Bhavani. Let the grace flow. Allow, you become like a litmus paper. So absorbs. What are the 3? Human birth, the longing for liberation, and discipleship to a great illumined master. These 3. So with this understanding, I think we'll sit for meditation today. We'll continue, God willing, by the grace of Almighty, by the grace of Adi Shankara, by the grace of all the Guru Paramparas who are showing their light to the world, who are the torch bearers with their grace. Let's surrender to the power that be. That's all. It is not that physical surrender. You don't have to fall on anybody's feet. It is up to the individual. If you find such guru, you feel like fine. You hug, whatever you dance. It is like Krishna Leela. Yes, Radha is not an individual. In fact, if we become Radha, you can see Krishna everywhere. If you become a Gopika, you can enjoy the dance with the beloved Krishna. It's all like that. There's no difference. So many beautiful stotras he has created. Whatever few I have read and I have heard, I have enjoyed, I will explain in the coming days. I don't know how many days I have, maybe 4 or 5 or 6, whatever. I can take anywhere. Tomorrow also will do meditation. So let us sit comfortably. Just Havahana, Sankalpa. It is not in words. Let that divine grace flow through me. Let that be your affirmation with eyes gently closed. Palms crossed or one over the other with the thumb touching each other or with a dhyana mudra and keeping a comfortable position and take a few long deep breaths, comfortable level. Inhale the positivity, the abundance. As you exhale, feel relaxation. Let go all negativity from us. Ashok or Ravali, you can play a music. If others want to enjoy that, it's okay. Some music. So relax the whole body. Just taking your awareness from head to foot or toes to the top. Either way is fine. Energy flows where your attention goes. You are aware. Just relax on your own way. Relaxation take you to the deeper and deeper state. Body relaxation. Mind also gets relaxed. Body and mind becomes one. Here and now. Less volume, maybe. Relax whole body. Relax, relax, relax. Feel the lightness of body. Lightness of mind too. Body, mind, intellect, integration is yoga, union. Just be there. You can chant Omkara mentally or your own mantra, whatever. Just one at a time is always better. That is why I said prayer to one deity. Because you have the freedom, you have the free will to 33 crores of gods. So people may laugh. You have to understand. It's all named different forms. The same principle, Ishvara, manifestation. It's the next there. But ultimate Nirakara, Brahman, is only one without the second, but the same manifestation. So it is up to us until we realize that we need, like a life boy, support. And just go deeper and deeper and deeper to your inner self, of course, by watching the breath is the easiest way to integrate. Breath links to the prana shakti, to the shakti herself, kundalini, mother divine posited in our Muladhara chakra. You become a Ganesha, Manasika Putra of divine Parvati, and just sit on her laps. Become as innocent as a baby. Become Ganesha. Then our mother carries us and introduce us to our father Jagadapidaro Vande Parvati Parameshwara, parents of the universe. Parvati takes us to Parameshwara. The union of Shiva Shakti happens with us. We become that. That is the real spiritual journey. She takes us through the 7 lokas, 7 yantras, 7 chakras. Nava avaranas, 9 enclaves. When we reach that 7th avarana, we become that. We become that light. Just be. Watching the breath is the easiest way. Witnessing Sakshi Bhava. Just be a Sakshi. No doership. We are not doing anything. From somethingness to nothingness, from somebody to nobody, we are now. And as we dwell in the laps of Mother, in that lotus, we merge into that state, we become that. Brahman has to be realized. The path is japa. One of the paths, mantra japa. Mantra to become yantra. The technique is tantra. Just be. Masters slowly become aware of this beautiful body. Feel the grace flowing through the mind and body. This beautiful temple, beautiful instrument, sadhana, for our sadhana, for our quest. You may get ready to come out of your Garbhagudi, the sanctum sanctorum, and be in the material world to do seva, karma, action, thought, feeling should culminate in action, the right action, which is useful for the entire humanity. In my quest, I should take all along, or I should cooperate with others who are in the similar path. Then we can create our own world. With this understanding, please come back and whenever you are ready, you may open your eyes. Shankaram, Shankaracharyam, Kesavam, Padarayanam, Sutra Bhashya Krito Vande Bhagavandau Punah Punah. My heartfelt gratitude to the universe and to that great sage, Adi Shankaracharya, and all the Guru Paramparas, all the masters who helped me to know something and take me to thus far from no knowledge to something real, understanding, and making me a small instrument which can also be used. I remember one incident when I was in service. So let me share that also. So, young days, we all enjoy parties and all that. So people spend. So whoever spends more for the party becomes popular. I was not popular in that respect. I was just managing. Even as manager, I was not getting that even 5-figure salary when I got not retired, for information. So even before that, spend, yes, company, I always share. I don't want to live at the others' cost, no obligation. That is how I live till now. God has given me that freedom and buddhi. So one leader, of course, I learned many things from him. That's why I'm able to tell. I learned from him many things. A great leader, union leader. He was telling the crow will eat all the meat. Anything else, crow is called like a scavenger on earth, but nobody will eat the meat of the crow. Like that, he mocked at me. So that thought just went to me. So this is what people are. Okay, I did not pass. Like that, little incidents will provoke us to go deeper. Just share a thought, just came when it comes better, just to throw it out. That's all. That's like this, many of you would have got, so don't feel guilty. You are in the right path. Have that conviction now. You have reached the right path. That's all I want to say. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Parameshwan sir. Thank you very much for the beautiful sharing. Parameshwan sir, maybe if you have any of the books that based on
yeah, that Viveka Chudamani, you can order anywhere if you just, that is the wonderful thing for real jnana, wisdom. That one is sufficient to go deeper. All other things are, he has only written commentaries on all. His commentaries on Gita, you can read like that, many. On all Puranas, you will find commentary by Shankaracharya in many languages, in Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, all it is there. That those who have got time can, and those who are more of bhakti, yes, Bhaja Govindam, like that commentary. And Bhaja Govindam book, I would like people to buy from Chinmaya Mission's publication. Chinmaya Mission, he himself is a great soul, Chinmaya. How he became great. I was, I think, fortunate to just at least listen to him once or twice in my life, long ago. He left the body already. So that gives the commentary full. He has written commentary on this Bhaja Govindam. That is really, though Bhaja Govindam people are chanting, Emma Subbalakshmi and others are singing, we are thinking it's only bhajan. No. Every stanza is so meaningful. It is taking us to the Jnana Yoga only. That is the beauty, the mixture there. The merger. That's why he calls us fools. Bhaja Govinda Mudha Made. We had the courage to tell. That is the truth. We were all immersed thinking that I am doing great, I am doing great, doing something. So come out of that. That's what all about Bhaja Govindam. Actually, he has written only 12. And subsequently, his 14 disciples wrote some more added. So there is hardly anything I can answer about his great teachings. We are not competent to talk much. What little bit I have enjoyed, I have been enjoying. I just shared, that's all here. The Viveka Chudamani, one must read. Those who are really have that quest for knowledge, to read all other English literature. So,
thank you, Parameshwan sir. Thank you very much. And yeah, masters, I don't think so that any hand raises or anything. If anybody wants to ask anything, that you can ask, and maybe